Collective, yes you, yes Creator, yes Divine One, yes Sovereign Being, yes God-like, made in the image. Yes, you, God having a human experience, consciousness expressing itself through this human form. Yes, being, yes, you, cosmic, powerful one. What's happening? What's good? We're here with a channeled message. And here is the message. Presence is power. Presence is power. You empower yourself with this moment here. This is the resource. This is the treasure. This is the gold. This is the bag, sweetheart. This is the millions, the billions. Presence is power. Presence is access. Presence is peace. Your spiritual journey, your journey towards enlightenment begins here and now. In fact, there is no other journey. There is no other place to reach, to aspire towards one-on-one on the timer. Your sovereignty is in the now. You take back your power by being in the here and now. This is the only spiritual practice there is. You want a quantum leap? You start in the here and now. You want to awaken? You start in the here and now. You want to heal? You start in the here and now. You want to draw closer to God, to your higher self, to divinity. You start here and now. You don't start tomorrow. You don't have to step out of yourself. You don't have to be an updated, perfect version of yourself. Perfected, fine-tuned, refined version of yourself. This right here is the moment that you have been waiting for. This is the time that you have been waiting for. Your higher self is here. God is here. Your guides are here. Your inner child is here. Your resources, your community, your power, your immensity is here. Your capacity to expand is accessed from this very moment. But you have to be here. You have to be here. No more running, no more escaping, no more projecting into the future, no more thinking up scenarios where you are better and finer and sharper and prettier and more moneyed and here, now, in this place that you're in your car, in your home, in that foggy mental space, in that clogged emotional body, here and now lies your power, lies your truth, lies your peace, lies your answers, lies your abundance. If you cannot make it work with here and now, don't anticipate, don't expect that you'll be able to make it work with 4 o'clock, with 8 o'clock, with tomorrow, with December, with 2027. God doesn't chase. That's what you are. You are God. The Creator doesn't chase. It creates from the moment. When you're able to be in your life and in this moment, your resources are unveiled to you. Guidance is revealed. And you can work with what you have from now. You know that quote where they ask us to work with what we have, work from where we are? And this is not to say with the external. Of course, you can work with your $1, 1 rand, 1 euro, 1 pound, 1 kwacha. You can work with that. But I'm speaking about your internal resources. I'm speaking about the shadow that you tried to escape, the shadow that you tried to suppress, the shadow that you tried to bury and conceal under everything that's happening. I'm talking about your internal resources. I'm talking about the fear that you can alchemize, the fear that you've been escaping. I'm speaking about that feeling of unworthiness that you try to hide and overcompensate for with everything and anything that you can get your hands on, that you can get your mind's hands on. I'm speaking about those internal resources, those things you try to run away from. That is you in the present moment. Those are resources. Your fear is a resource. Your agitation, your frustration, Your pain is a resource that you can use to move, to catalyze things, to alchemize things, transmute them, accelerate them. Each time you delay being here, each time you delay feeling that pain, feeling that fear, feeling that frustration, each time you try to opt out of it, you miss out on an opportunity, you miss out on wisdom. You miss out on alchemy. You're an alchemist. You were born to do this. There's nothing wrong with fear. There is nothing wrong with pain. There is nothing wrong with strife. There is nothing wrong with frustration. There is nothing wrong with heartbreak. You have the ability and the capacity and the resource and the power to turn all of that into something that catapults you upwards, that propels you forward. But you have to be in that. You have to feel your way through. You have to work your way through. If you jump one specific step in the process of alchemy, then you can't turn base metal into gold. Then you have to start afresh. I don't know if everyone's read The Alchemist, but it's an equation, it's an experiment that relies on every single detail. And fear is that detail. It's that base metal. It's that density. Pain is that density. It's that base metal. You have to have the density. You have to have the base metal to turn into gold. A lot of us want the gold, but we don't want to go through the process of collapsing and breaking down and, really observing that base metal, that density. You can't get to the gold without the base metal. Alchemy is taking base metal and turning it into gold. It's not just coming across gold. It's not just gold landing on your lap. So when you know who you are and you know you're the creator and you know you're made in the image of the creator, of divinity, of God, then you don't run from the fear, you use it. You utilize it because it's useful and it's efficient and it has a purpose. You don't run, you alchemize. You don't hide, you transmute. You confront, you feel. This is about being curious about your emotions. When you are the observer and you step out of your ego and you cease to identify with this fear and this pain, you cease to attach yourself to it, you can see how, efficient all of this is. How imperative it is to use this, how important for you and your ascension and your expansion and your evolution that you learn to use these things. Fear is your teacher. Pain is your teacher. Pain is your guide. Fear is your guide. Frustration is your guide. All of these things are taking you into spaces where you are still constricted, still asleep, still unconscious, still dense. But you don't go there and confront that density and that pain and that contraction and that constriction because you don't allow yourself to feel the fear because you're escaping the fear that is in this moment. Feeling fear, feeling pain, experiencing all of that density doesn't make you any less of a creator, doesn't make you any less worthy of experiencing the power and the sovereignty and the divinity that runs through you for you as you. But you have to allow that process to take place. No more running. No more running. No more running. Creators don't run. God doesn't run. And if you're running and if you're in that space where you're running, that's also fine. But I want to tell you that you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that anymore. It's an option and you are a creator, so you're allowed to explore it. Do what you will. We're here to do what we will. But I want to give you another option. I want to give you another route. And I want to give you another way of doing things to say, look into it. It's your teacher, it's your guide. Get curious about your feelings. Get curious about your pain and your density and your fear. That's what a creator does. A creator uses everything that presents itself in this moment to make life, to make love, to make light. That is your power if you wish to use it. It's available to you. I know you can feel it. For the first time in your life, you feel powerful. I can feel you. I know you know that there is something new. There is a shift. Something has changed. You're feeling Like, you have more space in your body and more space in your life. You can take up more space in your life. And this is the next step. Using everything that has been deemed shadowy, dark, everything that you've been taught to escape, using it in your favor. Because it's available to you. You would not be receiving this message if it wasn't. You've gone through the dark night of the soul, you've done your work, you've done the shadow work. Now this is creator mode. When we enter creative mode, it's not to say that we don't feel pain, fear, frustration, agitation. We just observe it, allow it to emerge, and then we alchemize, because that's what we're here to do. And then we create something new. We transmute and embody our duality. Because fire invigorates, enlivens, emboldens, but it also burns. Water nourishes and supports, but it also drowns. So fear can constrict you, but it can also help expand you. This is a choice. You as a creator now have sovereignty and authority and choice. What do you choose to do with your fear, with your pain, with your frustration, with your agitation, with all the things you've been taught to escape? You decide. Not the feeling, you as the creator. I love you, and I'll see you soon.